Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Study Hall 2026. We have another session ready to go for everybody. Myself and my partner, Zach, are here. Zach, how are you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm doing great, Jay. Excited to be here with you and kicking the session off.
You betcha. You betcha. So, welcome, everybody. This is the Study Hall for 2026. And what study halls generally are, if you look at a definition, is they're an independent study during the school day where you catch up on your homework, study for upcoming tests, basically enhance your overall academic performance, as it says. Well, we're going to do it a bit differently here. We are not going to do it individually. This is as a group, and we are going to raise our academic performance in regards to our proficiency in navigating the software and the tools within the software. So that's what Zach and my purpose for you is on these clean, quick, efficient study hall sessions. We have a topic that we want to discuss each week. The topic for me today is the risk graph overview. A lot of people have been asking questions and sending in information into us as to where to find it, how to use it, what the lines all signify, and I'll go over that. Zach, what do you got in store for us today?
Today, I'm going to be covering the overall support center resources and everything out there for our subscribers and clients to access in that regard. So I'm very excited for that.
And I'm excited. I'm sure everybody else is as well, because you and I are lead support for our respective organizations. And so a lot of folks will say, well, where do I send my emails into? Who do I talk to? Is it the Tom's Tools group? Is it the Hub group? Is it EWO group? You're going to signify that for everybody here today and get them all straightened out. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, no
Real
doubt.
quick, our compliance slide, folks, you can read this in its entirety when you're watching the recordings. The main takeaway here is that neither Zach or I are registered investment advisors, not giving investing or trading advice. Work with your own brokers for the suitability to your portfolios as to what actions you want to take. And we're not going to go over, as I switch over to Hub here, we're not going to go over specific trades for case studies, alerts, we're in here to show you how to navigate and use the different functions within the softwares. If you want to look at a specific trade, uh, again, we've got our esteemed instructors like Rob and Jeff and Tom and JP when they come on here. You can have those sessions with those folks. Stephen Camp, our AI concierge, he can go over that stuff with you. But real quick, folks, we are just going to take care of the navigation and the functionality of using these tools and this software. So I should be bringing up the charts in Hub right now. And I believe you see those, Zach.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
We're good to
everyone.
go.
Welcome to the study hall. I thought there was a question already, Zach, and it was you welcoming everybody. So thank you for that, sir.
Oh, my pleasure.
All righty. So here you see a chart on KRE, and I'll show you why we brought KRE up. And my focus here on my time with you is to go over the risk graph. So in order to build a risk graph, you have to figure out something you want to build a risk graph on. You want to build an options trade. And I clicked on the AI, and Zach's going to go over this functionality for you, I believe, in the next session. But you click on the AI. Some of you are already familiar with this. You can see that KRE is up top of the list with a score of 82.85. We like 75 or better. So if I click on that, it's going to keep the chart on KRE, but it's going to bring in the AI information. The target is 80.39, fail zone 70.90. And now that I have KRE up, I don't need this margin over here. So I'm going to left click on the AI, minimize that margin, and create some more workspace for me over here. And you know me, I like to scale my charts and drag all the information over, center it for the most part. So here's KRE. The current price is around 74.89 or so. So I'm going to build a call debit spread on this. And the horizontal lines here show pretty much as far out as this pattern or this stop should take to get up to that 80.39. When it happens sooner than that, we always love that. We like to take a profit sooner than later, right, Zach?
Oh, no doubt about that.
So let's click on the options as we've shown in prior sessions as to how to find that bottom left of the chart page. I've shown you before that you can left click to minimize the current month to go out to a farther out month. You don't have to do that. If you want to be efficient with your click throughs, just go straight to the one you want. And since it said October 16th or October 13th, I'm going to go to an October 16th option chain. I'm going to scroll up a little bit, and we're going to look at buying to open the 75 call and selling to open the October 80 call. And that's the October 16th. Then you can see all the options details over here to the right. And now that I have that information, I'm going to minimize this option chain over here by left clicking on the arrow to the left of the risk curve button. I have all my options details and specifics right down in here. You'll see the functions down here where we can clear the data. We can save this trade information, or we can go ahead and post it. I am going to leave the pricing as it is because right now it shows that our net debit is 244 for this, the break even 76.25. You've got all your Greeks down there. Let's keep that. I'm going to bring this option details down out of view as much as possible. I'll leave it right there. And you just do that by left click and dragging on the median line between the chart and the options details. Now that you have it positioned where you want, let's go ahead and bring in the risk curve. But before I do that, I want to highlight one tool over here that I'm going to be using. I like to use the date and price target tool. If you don't have that date and price target tool underneath your favorites or in your favorites menu down here, find it in your tools or your studies. When you click on tools or studies, just know that you can toggle back and forth between each once you're in the menus. On the drawing tools, if you don't have it, there's the date and price target. Left click on the star, and that puts a yellow color in the star, which means it's now in your favorites. When that's done, you'll see it now over here in your favorites batch of choices. I'm not going to use it just yet, but I will in a few moments. Let's discuss the risk curve, the risk graph. Left click on that, and you'll see that it takes some of the real estate from the chart page and puts the risk graph in view for you all. What I'm going to do here now is show you that on the risk graph, the risk curves, you can left click and drag it left and right, position it how you want. You can go over to the chart and left click and drag it left or right. And when you do that, it just moves the individual panel left and right. When you left click and drag on either one and you go up or down with the left click and drag, you'll move both simultaneously. All right. Now, if you get it to a spot and you're like, oh, how do I reset that? There's your reset button right over here on either the chart page or the risk graph page, that circular arrow. You hover your cursor over that, it'll say reset, left click, there you are. You just have to rescale. And what am I doing here? I'm just using the scroll wheel on my mouse, and that widens it and thins it up. And then you can left click and drag over here as well on your chart page. Just get it positioned to where you want, where it looks ideal for you. Now, right now, I have a horizontal line at 74.85 on my risk graph. It may not be there when you bring up your risk graph, and that's fine, because when you use your date and price target tool, you'll be able to place that on your chart page. And if there's an existing line, it'll sync up with your date and target tool when you do that. But right now, it's basically coinciding from a previous session I had where it was at 74.85. If you hover your cursor on the line, it'll show you your price target and the value there. And that kind of coincides with where the stock is over here as of the last update. So there's where the price is. Here's where the line is on the risk graph. And what your risk graph is showing you, folks, many of you know, these lines represent the value of that option, its P&L of that option, and its ROI percentage of that option at these different price and time intervals. So you have this straight line, which is your 0 days to expiration. You have the red, blue, green, and purple lines signifying different time intervals between now and expiration. How do I know that? Because it shows me right down here in the DTE, that's days till expiration. So 106 days from now until expiration, and your 0 line, which is at expiration. Now watch what happens when I left click on one of these. Look at the lines up here, and I'm going to click on the red down here for 106. Watch the red line. When you left click on that, it's going to thicken that line up so it shows you that that's the line that you're focusing on. When you click on the 80, it changes and thickens up the next line commensurate with the color, and that shows you the days until expiration. And then 0 line is your at expiration. So right now, as I click on the 106 days, it's going to show me my value, the P&L and ROI for that price, 74.86, because that's where my line's at. If you don't have a line on there just yet, you'll go over here and you'll use that date and time or time and price target. But before I do that, real quick, look, the value is 244, P&L is 0, break even basically. So here we are at the price of 74.86 or 74.85, close. You just go to where the lines intersect, okay? The price line that you have with the days till expiration, and then draw your eyes down to these values that are underneath the days till expiration. And it says -3 where it says 0. It may not be to the dollar accurate, but you can get close. If you click on 80, let's just say the stock sat here for another 26 days. There's what's happening to the option. The value goes to 231. You're experiencing a bit of a loss. Theta decay, $13, minus 5% on the ROI. Now it says minus $13. But if you draw your eyes down from that line for the price, connecting with the days to expiration, you may or may not see the minus $13 down here. It's not that important to me to make this number down here match that number right there, because that's my number. The P&L is minus $13. But if you want to play around with this a little bit, you can left click and drag on these values down here. To the left of the 0 line is a negative value. To the right of the 0 line is your positive values for profit or loss. And you can, again, left click and drag it. And every once in a while, okay, $12 loss versus $13 loss, that's pretty doggone close. Not that important to me, but if you want to try to scale it to get them to match, you can. But bottom line, that's the number I focus on. That's the number I'm using. Let me now go to, and I'm just left clicking. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling on my mouse to tighten it back up here and all. I'm going to now bring in that date, and I keep saying a date, and it is. It's a date and price target. Left click on that. I'm going to left click over here on the price where it's currently at. I already have that in there. I'm looking at this stock getting up to $80.39. I need it for this call debit spread to be above 80 at expiration, or a penny above at expiration, so that max profitability potential is there. Assignment and execution should kick in. The account gets assigned at 80. Your account has the right to exercise at 75. Okay. So if you're assigned to deliver the stock at 80, your account has the right to buy it at 75, to replace it at 80, and making your $5 offset by the cost of the trade, which is down here $2.44 or $244. So the most this trade can make is 500 offset by the 244. You've got a $256 profit potential. So let's put I clicked on the date and price target. I'm going to click on 80, or as close to it as possible. Let me go up a little bit higher. Come on, Jay, get that mouse working. Okay, so now you see that horizontal line I had syncs up with the date and price target line that I have here on the chart. And it's now taking me to where I can look at the value of these, or this spread at these different time intervals between now and expiration. So I'm also showing you that I can left click and drag this price column, this price axis, and you can scale it as you like now too. So here we are, folks. I'm just bringing the pricing down a little bit. Now we got a value. Let's just say this thing popped up there. Let's say it had an earnings report or some kind of good news on the stock, or in this case, the financial sector. You know, what's the Fed going to do with the interest rate decisions? And it pops and you hit 80.39. Like tomorrow, you're going to see now the value is 340, the P&L 96. and you're looking at a 39% ROI. So again, where does the price and the time until expiration intersect? Down here in this ballpark, and it's showing 96 P&L, 39%. Another thing you can do with your price and time or your date and price target is you can roll it left and right, and it'll make the adjustments over here for you as well on your value on P&L. It's not doing it now because you'll notice that, let me click on the 0. That's at expiration. Anytime, and I'm out here past, the expiration date. I'm out here October 20th, where it's an October 16th expiration. But at $80 and higher, you folks know this is not new education. The most you're going to make is that 256 bucks or the 104, 105% ROI. But again, let's just change it to a different time interval. And I'll bring it back to a different time interval on the chart. So here we are now, in the ballpark of the 1st of October. If it's up at that price, it's not at expiration, you're going to see your valuations are going to reflect the time until expiration at that specific price. Value, P&L, ROI at these different time intervals. You can click here to change those or just track these as you go. So that's the risk curve. Plain and simple, folks. Nothing more that I really need to add on to that. Zach, if you see any questions that I need to address, I'll take those now. Otherwise, I'll real quickly show you folks that you can save this trade. What you can save right now is this trade detail, this October 16th, 75.80 call debit spread at a 244 cost into a portfolio. And next week, I'm going to go over the portfolio basics with you and showing you how to create a portfolio, how to save these trade details into the portfolio and track from there. There's a lot of cool features coming. What you can do with a portfolio right now versus what's going to be able to be done with a portfolio is so much sweeter than what it is now. It's great now, but it's even greater what's to come. I can show you what we have right now in our next session when the launch comes of the enhanced features. JP and Tom are going to get the honors of expressing that new cool stuff. They own the companies, right? It should be their right to share in all that fun. So that's going to wrap it for me on my session, Zach. I'm going to switch this, or why don't you just go ahead and take the screen, brother, and you can take it from here and finish out your section.
That sounds great, Jay. I'll take the screen here now, and great presentation on the risk curve functionality. I know you've received a number of requests via support regarding that, so I'm sure that's going to be a helpful resource for everyone out there watching, both live and for the recording.
Appreciate it. And you're going to show them where to contact us via support. So if you have any questions when you're watching the recordings and you want to follow up on a question about that section I just did, Zach's going to show you where now to reach out to us, me, and we can go over this education throughout the week until our next time together.
100%. Yeah, we'll cover that now briefly, and I'll also show that in the end when we come back to the presentation. So as Jay mentioned, we'll move up over here to the right toolbar and to the messages icon. This redirects us to the community page, as you can see is loading. And at the very bottom here on the left side, we have the study hall group or forum. So this is going to be anything and everything study hall regarding all past sessions and future sessions to come. As you can see, the first two sessions were posted here for you to review at your leisure. And this session that we're in right now will be posted in just a little bit after this live session concludes. For anyone that wasn't able to attend live, or for anyone that is even able to attend live that just wants to review the session again, this will be the living library and directory for any of the study hall sessions to date. And so again, for anyone out there who's watching the recording who wants to register, we'll want to click on this click to register for study hall link. Again, Jay and I will come back at the very end to go over that as a quick reminder. But again, anything and everything study hall is going to be found in this forum. All right, so let's go ahead and kick off to my segment for today's presentation, and that's going to be on support. We certainly want to know how to access support, as that is a very valuable resource as subscribers, and we have a couple different methods for that. We're going to start out with the most efficient, and that's going to be this right red toggle down here at the bottom, labeled support. As you can see, as I selected that and toggled the menu, we have a few different selections here to make. The first one being our help center. Upon clicking into our help center, I need to verify that I am not a bot. Both Jay and I are not bots, and we still are humans doing this job, at least for the time being, until AI goes into that space as well, which who knows when that'll be. But for now, you got Jay and myself driving the wheel. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off into the resource center. As we can see, they're all broken down by topic. We have the getting started all the way to money calendar. So for Jay and any Tom's folks out there, you would likely be interested in the material around the money calendar functionality, the module, everything that's included there. Some frequently asked questions down here at the bottom, and then of course some promoted articles for you to reference as, for example, we have the platform tutorial videos. We have this broken down into a few different tables from the basics into intermediate and advanced, so on and so forth. Anything and everything for our resources, whether it's articles or videos, will be published here. And this is an ever-growing hosting page for that, so be sure to check back on a regular basis to see what new articles or videos have been made available. I think that about covers everything for the first topic on the support center. So we'll go back to the red support menu down here at the bottom. The next toggle available is reporting an issue. As you can see, after I click into reporting an issue, we now have a field down here at the bottom, including the issue description. So you'll want to add a little detail about the issue that you may be experiencing at that time. And in addition to the details or commentary, you have an option to capture and annotate the screen. Therefore, take a screenshot of the screen that you're having the issue on, and you can annotate. So for an example, if I click in, we see we have the option to take the screenshot and then annotate by commenting. You can section it out by highlighting the very specific area that the issue is occurring. You can use the pin to doodle, for lack of better terms, in regards to pointing out again or highlighting what issue you're experiencing, so on and so forth. After you're happy with detailing the issue, you're able to add that screenshot. And by clicking that, it'll be attached here as a file that can go directly to our support dev queue and log for us to be able to address, investigate, and resolve from there. In addition to capturing and annotating the screen, we also have an option to record the screen. So perhaps the issue you may be experiencing has to do with a navigation issue on the page. So maybe you're on the ideas page and you're wanting to navigate to the charts, and upon selecting the charts toggle, you're just getting that spinning wheel going nowhere, and the page just continues to buffer, something along those lines. Just trying to think of a quick example. That's when you'd want to use the record screen function, as that will give us a quick recording of the issue that you're experiencing, and that'll help us better diagnose and be able to resolve the issue in a timely fashion. After you're happy with the details included in your issue, you'll just click submit down here at the bottom, and then it goes directly to our support log. And so as Jay mentioned in the beginning, we have a number of different email addresses that you might have or have discovered over time to reach out to. And sometimes it might get confusing as to which one is the best or most ideal to send your request through or your query to. For this, that eliminates any of that confusion, as you can just hit that red submit toggle, and that goes directly into the support log, and we can prioritize and address that in, again, a very timely fashion. So.
Coming back in here, Zach, because I got to tell you, as simple as that seems, and as much as this software can do, and all these different scans and functionalities that we have, just the fact that you can click submit and it will send the email to the appropriate person is huge for people, because you and I get a ton of emails that'll say, I don't know if you got this. I don't know if I'm supposed to send it to you. I don't know where I'm supposed to send it. And then they'll express their concern. That right there, just being able to submit it and it goes to who it's supposed to, is awesome.
100%. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And it makes it easier for us as well. It goes both ways, as again, it just goes directly into a log. And so, again, eliminates any of that confusion that might be out there in regards to which email address to send your request through to. So I think that covers everything for reporting an issue. The last but not least option here under the support window is going to be a feature request. Upon clicking into feature request, similar to that report and issue window I was just showing, we have a couple fields of information for you to enter. So this would just be describing the feature that you are missing or that you would like to see potentially implemented in the platform as it continues to grow through continual patch updates. After you've listed the title or name of the feature that you would like to see, you can just add a bit more detail or commentary around what problem it might solve for you or the efficiency it would provide. Perhaps there's something on other platforms or prior platforms that you've used that you would like to have that functionality enabled for in the Hub platform. This is the ideal field for that information to be provided. So again, after you've added the commentary or description around that feature, you have the option to capture and annotate the screen or record the screen just as you could on that support reporting an issue window. And then again, by a click of a button, it goes directly into that support log for us to review, consider, and potentially implement in coming patch updates. And so you might have a feature request that others out there have also requested, and there's no harm in submitting that, as having duplicates or multiple feature requests for the same feature just shows us the overall sentiment out there and where it ranks in priority, and again increases that likelihood of potentially being implemented in a future patch update. So definitely feel encouraged to use that for any features that you would like to see made available again in the coming patch updates for this ever-growing platform. I think that about covers everything for the support overall interface and functionality associated. Please feel encouraged to reach out via any of those methods, as again, we pride ourselves in our response time, and we try to get back as quick as possible. Typically, it shouldn't be more than 1 business day. And again, that's for sure the most efficient way to reach out and contact us. So Jay, I think you've taken over the screen there. That covers everything I had for my segment. So we might progress on and show the folks what they can expect for next week.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, timely information and a lot of new folks in here that are new to the software, and a lot of folks that have used the software for a number of years. Whether you're new, you're experienced, you have questions, concerns, sometimes you forget where I found that one button. What you covered is very helpful in helping people get to us. As for next week, Zach, I'm going to go over, like I said, the portfolio overview, just the basics of when you have a trade that you want to build and you look at the risk graph and you say, that's the trade I want to track, save it into a portfolio. You do a trade in an actual brokerage account, you want to also track it through the tools, portfolio overview will help you get that done. You're going to go over what exactly again here?
So next week, I'll be covering the overall AI functionality. So that'll include the Wave 3 and bearish and bullish scans for those. And then, of course, the Wave 5 bullish as well, how to access them, how exactly it all works, and how to upgrade if we are currently watching and want to have access but don't at the moment. So anything and everything regarding the AI signals, I will be covering in the next session.
I have to be mindful how much time I take next week because I got to give you a lot of time for what you're going to go over. That's great stuff.
Absolutely. I'm excited
Maybe
for it.
we do a part 1 and part 2 of our stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, if it's needed, I think I speak for both of us that we'll be happy to do that, especially depending on the overall feedback we get from clients. If there's more we want to cover, I'm more than happy to do that.
Beautiful. All right. Now, in the upper right-hand part of the screen, wherever you're at in the tools, you see the different icons. And what Zach has on the right-hand side of this slide is an arrow pointing to the envelope icon. And that's where you go in and find the community, the message boards, as it's highlighted in the left-hand corner there, community. It's specific to study hall, as Zach has at the bottom left of the screen, the actual study hall form. So if you're unable to type in a question here, and Zach, I think what we might want to do is include a little slide at the beginning of our sessions going forward as to where they can type in their questions and answers, or where they can type into the chat. We don't have a lot of activity on this live session here. Maybe some of our newer folks need a little heads up on how to get that done, and then going forward, we'll get more active live interaction here going forward. Sound all right?
Sure thing. Yeah, that's fine by me. And to that point, Jay, as you're showing the study hall forum there with the overall recordings from the past couple sessions and where they'll be hosted for all of the future sessions, this is the place that you'll want to share your sentiment and overall thoughts on the subject matter that you'd like to see covered. Jay and I have a pretty good idea as to what we'd like to present on each week moving forward, but there's no way for us to know specifically what everyone out there is wondering about or might need further clarity on to for us to present on unless it's shared in that forum. And that's the overall purpose and structure of the forum, is so that we can hear back from you as to what you'd like to see covered in coming weeks. So please feel encouraged to interact, whether you respond to a video, as you can see Jay's cursor highlighted there. You can reply right under the video and provide the feedback there, or just make a new post within that study hall forum, and we will address it either by an email, written response, or in the next future session of study hall. So
Excellent. Good point. Yep. Either way, create a post or hit reply and ask away. This slide here is how to register for the future study hall sessions. Zach, you want to cover this one real quick too, brother, since you set it up?
sure thing. Yeah. So showed it a bit in the beginning, but to just go over a quick refresher on that, as you can see the arrow pointing there, click here to register for study hall. If you are out there watching the recording and you want to be able to attend a live session moving forward, all you have to do is click to register via that link one time, and that'll register you for the next upcoming session and all future sessions to come. And I think I can easily speak for both Jay and myself in regards to our encouragement to attend as many sessions as you like, or attend all the sessions. The more the merrier in regards to company. And you get to also take advantage of the live interaction with Jay and I. As Jay said, the activity is a bit quiet in this session, but moving forward, as we continue to have more attendees attend and have overall growth in that aspect, you'll be able to ask your questions through the Q&A window, and Jay and I will be able to address them in real time for you, so you can get assistance as
Sure.
quick as in real time, which I think is about as quick as it gets.
There you go. Yep. And one and done. Click and register once, you're done. All right, folks, thanks for attending. Appreciate you all being in here. And once we get a little bit more heads up on how to post your questions and do some more live interaction, these will be that much more, I don't know about entertaining, but that much more insightful, because Zach and I are on our side of the fence thinking we know what you want and need, but until we hear it from you directly, we won't actually know. So I just mirror Zach's sentiment that folks get involved, get pushing the buttons, get using these tools, and you won't know what questions you have until you start using the tools anyways. And so reach out to us. And there's the last thing I want to point out, Zach, unless you have anything more, the support@hub.com email. We've got multiple emails, like we've said earlier, but if you use just bottom line, the support@hub.com, if the question's specific to me or what we got going with, the Tom's group and the Gulfport, Zach will get the information to me, but use that one central email above all else, and that will take care of you as the overriding.
Absolutely. Yeah, well said there, Jay. It's a safe default to always use. That one can always be your North Star or go-to email, and that will be escalated to the appropriate party from there. And just one final note on the questions that you said there, Jay. Uh, don't hold back on any questions or thoughts that you have in regards to what you want covered in these sessions, because who knows, you might ask a question that someone else out there was wondering about or hadn't thought to ask, and then they realized that they wanted some clarity on that topic as well. So we look forward to seeing that growing interaction. So without further ado, Jay, I think that about covers everything we have for this segment.
We call it a wrap as well. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Zach. Look forward to the next session, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Take care.